The wait is finally over. Amazon Prime's Rings of Power is finally here, and fans of the beloved cult classic couldn't be happier. The pilot episode has been warmly received, and already fans are sharing their thoughts online. But they're not the only ones who have something to say about the show. Rings of Power's Benjamin Walker breaks down the melody and majesty of Gil-galad in a recent interview. So make sure you keep watching if you want to find out more. Just recently, American actor Benjamin Walker explains the magic behind the melody and majesty of Gil-galad. Benjamin Walker discusses the attention to detail that went into bringing Elf King Gil-galad to the Lord of the Rings of Power, in an interview with CBR. Created for television by J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, The Lord of the Rings of Power is one of the most eagerly awaited television premieres of the year. The Lord of the Rings of Power. The Second Age, which takes place millennia before the Hobbit's events, is when the television series is set, and it features the final partnership between elves and humans while evil festers in the deepest crevices of Middle-earth. Benjamin Walker's character Gil-galad, who is in charge of the elves from the golden city of Lindon, understands the delicate nature of this hard-won tranquility. In the aforementioned interview, Walker discusses how language and J.R.R. Tolkien's writing helped him to understand the finer details of Gil-galad. He also discussed what character most appeals to him and gave fans a sneak peek at a show that will be well worth the wait. In case anyone asks, Gil-galad is a character that appears in J.R.R. Tolkien's Silmarillion, as well as in the poem Sam wrote in The Lord of the Rings. Walker revealed in the interview that he drew several inspirations from these to help establish his character. The actor admitted that Gil-galad's decision to remain is one of his favorite aspects of the character. Elvish Valhalla will have to wait because he didn't travel to Valinor. His character is going to remain on this dangerous, filthy rock with all these creatures that want to kill each other, possibly at the cost of his own life and the lives of others of his kind. Walker continued by stating that Gil-galad's willingness to trade his gift of immortality for hope is what he admires most about him. Now, if you've watched Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, you'll notice that the elves have a special cadence to their speech. For Benjamin Walker, he says incorporating it into his acting is what made it fun. Walker continued by stating that J.R.R. Tolkien authored languages and that it is simply a luxury to obtain a position that allows one to conduct research that informs one's interpretation. Walker explains how every golden spire in Lindon is a beacon of light seeking out the darkness lurking in the shadows, and how elves virtually view language as a weapon of beauty against evil. This is what is beautiful about Tolkien's work and what makes his job enjoyable. As an illustration, the actor gives the name Gil-galad, where many people would pronounce it with an A sound, but Elvish only has pure vowels, therefore there are no schwas. Walker said the elves embody who they are and how they carry themselves around the cosmos through the muscularity and musicality of their speech, and it's just positive stuff. Moving on to other things, Benjamin Walker has walked with several other projects that entailed elaborate costuming. In the interview, he's asked what appeals to him most as a storyteller and performer, to which the actor answered that it's just another layer of doing it. Walker claims that more people are involved in the storytelling process than just him rocking in jeans and a t-shirt. Whether it was the gold thread they used or the amount of research put into it, the runes on the sleeves of his gown took months and months to make. That's part of the fun. Not that modern art isn't excellent. He continued by saying that he appreciates it as much and that it saves him a lot of time in the morning. But he also has a team of artisans and craftspeople working with him to transform. It's sort of the bare minimum, yet it's what these stories need. To follow up on the question, Walker was also asked how he layered into his performance their extended production time, especially since it took over a year to film season 1 in New Zealand. Walker continued that on the first day of any job, it's like we're all going to be friends forever. But with this one, because the undertaking is so great and the setting in which they began it in New Zealand was so distinctive, and because everyone's unity behind telling the best version of the story has been so present, Walker does feel like there will be relationships from this job that will endure beyond the job. He claims that they all value what makes each other special and work well together, and a lot of that is attributable to J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay. People often say there are no foolish questions, but J.D. and Patrick genuinely believe this to be true. They should have great aspirations, as they do. Now, on to another topic. Before the series premiere, fans have been clamoring about how the show's trailer highlights Galadriel's violent quest. Galadriel's role as an elven warrior is highlighted in the most recent teaser for The Lord of the Rings of Power. The promo video features narration from Galadriel, hero, Morfydd Clark, who appears to be trying to persuade some soldiers to support her cause. Her motivations are still unknown, however, the trailer gives the impression that they will be connected to her brother's passing during a battle with what appears to be an army of orcs. Galadriel takes center stage, but several other characters, both original and taken from J.R.R. Tolkien's works, also make cameos in the footage. Elrond, Robert Arameo, Arondir, Ismael Cruz Cordova, and Princess Diza are some of these. Sofia Nomvete. The rise of the Dark Lord Sauron will be a major theme in the Rings of Power, whose plot is mostly unknown and is set during the turbulent Second Age. The Middle-earth set television series, according to its creators J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, is similar to Peter Jackson's groundbreaking film trilogy, but is in no way seeking to compete with it. McKay stated that anyone approaching Lord of the Rings on screen would be incorrect if they did not consider how amazingly right Jackson got so much of it. But he also stated that they are admirers from a distance and that the Rings of Power doesn't try to compete with him. Many fans are already drawing analogies between the Rings of Power and HBO's House of the Dragon, another high fantasy series based on a popular series of novels, even though it may not be able to compete with the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. Despite the parallels, Payne and McKay say that their adaptation of Tolkien's writing will attempt to take on a less violent tone. Game of Thrones' excessive violence has been criticized by the program's creators, who claim that the show loses its identity to present progressively more horrific visuals. The Rings of Power introduces a variety of brand new characters, although Payne and McKay assert that the trilogy is strongly rooted in Tolkien's cosmology. According to McKay, his only issue is with the phrasing vaguely connected. He continued by saying that they don't feel that way and that they believe Tolkien and the novels are the show's true foundations. Furthermore, none of them would be able to sit up here if they didn't feel that way. It's safe to say that the showrunner's work is up to the fans' standards so far. And just recently, it's been revealed that The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, was watched by more than 25 million people around the world, according to Amazon. The first episode of Amazon's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power series, which debuted on its Prime Video streaming service on Saturday, garnered more than 25 million viewers worldwide on its first day, according to the company. The head of Amazon Studios, Jennifer Salke, said in a statement that it's somehow fitting that Tolkien's works, which are among the best known of all time and are frequently cited as the real inspiration for the fantasy genre, have brought them to this happy place. In the show's premiere in the UK, Jeff Bezos, the creator and billionaire of Amazon, alluded to the series' importance to viewers during the show's premiere, when he said that one of his kids had warned him to "don't F this up" after learning that Amazon had acquired the story rights. Weekly premieres of The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power on Amazon will continue, so that's another thing to look forward to every week. Meanwhile, HBO said earlier this month that the launch of its House of the Dragon prequel series was the biggest in the network's history. So what do you all think? Have you watched the pilot of Rings of Power yet? Let us know in the comment section below. And that'll be all for today's video. Before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on for more videos like these. We'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.